Okay, so today what we are going to cover in the inclusive is when the claim is denied as a inclusive denial. So that means the claim is not denied for the same date of service or in the same claim. It is going to be denied for a previously billed claim. So we will call it as a surgery claim. We'll call it as a global period. See, there in the global period, there are two different circles are there. For example, surgery with E&M in a global. See, you know that every surgery code has a global period. So how to identify that? See, if you take any CPT code and then search in the Google, or you can search in the AAPC guidelines, you can identify what is the global period for that particular CPT code. See, what we will get here is we have a two different methodology of doing this. Okay. So what it mean by that is, for example, if I search my global period, it will end up with three different categories. One is 0, other one is 10 days, other one is 90 days. Right? If it is within the global period, you cannot perform any of the global services. See, for example, you cannot do any post services. For example, the patient got a surgery and he is coming for a follow-up visit. In that scenario, the follow-up visit will not be covered unless it is a different diagnosis code. See, how we need to identify this is if a claim is denied as an inclusive and you're searching for some other claim in the same claim or same DOS, you didn't find it. In the same DOS, different claim, you didn't find it. Then what you need to do, you understand, is there any surgery done on the same claim? So check the diagnosis code and go back to the filter by the diagnosis code when the previous service has been done. See, for example, if it is done 10 days before and it is coming into the minor surgery category, this code will not get paid. So what you need to do, you have to send it back for an adjustment. That's the only way. It will not get paid. For example, if a diagnosis code is different, then what we can do? That's what the discussion here. See, for example, here we'll go the surgery part first. For example, I'm checking a E&M with a surgery. I'm identifying, I'm checking the global days, and the global days is within the 10 days or 90 days, and I'm checking the diagnosis code for both the CPT code. So what I'm going to do, if a build with the same diagnosis code, so as per the global rule, it's not going to be paid. We are going to move it to an adjustments. And if it is a different diagnosis code, what do you need to do? You add 24 modifier and you have to bill as a different claim. See, when coding is in your control, or what I mean by that is your organization is doing coding for this, you have to take a feedback loop to them saying that why you are missing this particular 24 modifier. This will avoid your denial and we can send a corrected claim after adding a 24 modifier, but you have to inform them why they are doing it and build the corrected claim with the appropriate modifier. See, you know, there are two modifiers, right? So one is 25, other one is 24, which is a E&M related modifiers, right? 25, when the two different procedure done on the same day with identifiable and differentiable diagnosis, we'll use 25. When the global period, within the global period, if there is a diagnosis code and you are doing the service again, that is come under the 24. We'll give simple example. See, for example, patient is going for a surgery, which is a, for example, we'll take there is a hand is broken and they inserted a plate there and the patient has done a surgery before 90 days. Okay, so for example, in the 60th day, patient had a fever, right? Usually when we go to the family doctor and if family doctor is referring to a specialist and you have any problem, you want to go to the same specialist, right? In that scenario, the patient is coming for a fever. The fever is completely different from the hand broken scenario. That's a two different diagnosis code. So doctor should be paid for a fever treatment. That's what we are discussing here, right? Fever is nothing but it's a simple E&M. We'll add 24 modifier and we will get it paid. So this is one scenario. We'll come to the next scenario where both the surgery codes are built in the global period. See, for example, in this scenario, when you search by the same diagnosis code, it may be a different date where the surgery has been done. We'll take the same scenario here. The patient had a hand surgery before 90 days. And second time, the patient fell down again. the same hand got some injured again. So this will become a second time patient is coming for the same room to take a treatment. In that scenario, both your global surgery have a same diagnosis. Okay, there is a critical here. One is same diagnosis, other is a different diagnosis. If it is the same diagnosis and you have to add 78 modifier to indicate it's a patient is coming back again for the same type of problem. So 78 modifier is mandatory here. And sometimes this 58 modifier become a mandatory for a staged procedure. See, for example, we will take a cancer treatment, there's an infusion. The patient will come for a continuous treatment and that is called the stage treatment. We have to add 58 modifier in that particular scenarios. When it is a different diagnosis, we'll take the same thing. Okay, the patient have a hand broken scenario and he fell down again and his leg got broken. So he's coming back for the same surgery. In that scenario, you have to add a 79 modifier. So this one particular cycle you have to understand when the global period, E&M can be built with or without the same diagnosis. The same way within the global, two surgery can be built with or without the same diagnosis. This is what I thought of covering today. This is called the global scenario codes, and this will be helpful. If you understand this, we can handle the previous one, what we discussed here, how to handle this particular denial, right? It's not on the same claim. So I'm coming here back again. So this your global scenario. When it is not a global scenario, for example, you're checking that not in the same claim, check the global period, check this is 0, 10 or 90 days, then check the diagnosis code and check if the modifier is correct. If modifier is allowed, if modifier is allowed, then you can confirm what do you need to do. If modifier is not allowed, what do you need to do? You can create a adjustment rule, stop unpayable billing completely. If modifier is allowed, yes, then confirm with the coding, rebuild the claim, and you move to the final stage. See, whenever you are adding any pre-billing activity, rebilling, please add it to your pre-billing review so that you can stop this particular problem. So here I embedded the codes here, which the code here we discussed, right? There's an inclusive, and these are all the 11 type of codes are there. I added this in the particular Excel. It is embedded. I'll put it that in the group. Okay, in the WhatsApp group, you can download and then keep using. Okay. I hope this is the way we are going to do the global type of work here.